Hello there, Genevieve. Well done for getting these in once again, your essays. It's Andrew, and I will be reading through your stuff today. Now, what I am going to do is let you know that your writing's great, and your vocabulary is very wide-ranging. So things like, derivative works. That's a very rare word to hear. Infringement, great. Implementation, wonderful. Let's see what else. Anyway, there's some really good words. What I would not use, however, is netizens. I think that netizens is too new and informal a word for an academic essay. The key thing for you, I'll just pull up the mark scheme for you. Here it is, because you are probably just about here at the moment. You're crossing into the 7 mark. And in order to get up here, where we want you to be in practice, so that in the exam you can get at least a 7, what you need to do is reduce errors to almost none. So word errors and grammar errors to very, very few or very, very rare. So let's get you familiar with articles, prepositions and pronouns in your essays so that you can be confident of going in and writing perfect sentences every time. Now, there are only a few inaccuracies in terms of words in here. There are some words, like I said, that I wouldn't use, like netizens. This first sentence is also quite long. I would make your topic sentence a bit more specific and be very, very wary of any sentence that goes on for 4 lines. It should be reduced at that point. Break it down. But what's going to be more useful for you, as what I need to do is make grammatical corrections, is if I provide you with a written correction. So what I'll do is I'll have a quick read through now, and I'll give you some verbal advice, but then I will send you a full written correction with a grammatical fix as well, just to give you a bit more of an example. So let's read. So as I said, first of all, this is not clear enough because it's become too long. So you need to shorten this down and make sure in your intro sentence that you clearly cover the topic question. So next, and somewhat related, I just want to cover the task and achievement section of the mark scheme, which tests how well you responded to the question. So, do copyright laws limit creativity or reward creativity? Would society function better without such rules and regulations? So, if we go down to your conclusion, which should say all of that, laws relating to copyright, that's not correct, but let's say laws relating to copyright limit the individual's capacity to copy an intellectual property. Okay, that's very true, but it doesn't say anything about creativity. And it doesn't say whether the world would be better without them. Furthermore, it is vital that laws are being provided to authors that their work are creditable to them. So yeah, what you've done is you have explained how copyright works, but you have not stated anything about creativity in there, and you've not included whether society would be better without them. So for the task and achievement section of the mark scheme for this, you would probably score a 5. So down here in 5 is when you only address the task partially. So if you fail to answer all of the question, or you do not hit the 250 word minimum, you will not score above a 5 in task and achievement. So you must make sure that when you look at the question, that you aim to extract the ideas from it that you really need to answer the question. We're not there to explain it, although we are somewhat, but overall we should be addressing the question itself. Everything that's in the question needs to be completely expanded on in your essay. And this one, I can't see the word count here because I've not counted it, so I'll do that in a minute. But again, this is just the only issues really with this are with just the precision of the language, the accuracy of the things that you've said. Things like the most calorie consumption for 50 years and above is pulses, which is not quite correct. We should say the highest proportion of calorie consumption. The highest proportion of calorie consumption for those aged 50 and over. So when we just say the most calorie consumption, it doesn't really make any sense. The most calorie consumption, it just needs to be a little bit more precise. So I would say, yes, the highest rate of calorie consumption, or the largest proportion of calories, something along those lines. But I like the bar shaft. I like this caloric intake. That's a good phrase you've pulled there. And vegetables by age group distribution. I would just say by age. We don't need all of that. You have absolutely no problem extracting the information. You can read the graph fine. That's great. But what you do need to do is smarten it up a little bit, which I will do in the written correction. So what I'll do now, in order to provide you with the best correction possible, I'll go away and I will write some corrections. So what I normally do is edit these in Google Docs. I do grammatical corrections in the text itself. So if anything's crossed out and changed, it means this is wrong, use this instead. But for suggestions, things that I think would just be better, they will be in the comments at the side. So if it's crossed out in the text, it needs to be changed, and if it's a comment in the side, it's likely to be a suggestion. Anything else and it will be explained. But once I send all these over to you, you'll be able to start on your new tasks and get them back over to us as quickly as possible. But thanks once again, Genevieve. I will speak to you very, very quickly, very soon even. I'm being imprecise myself. But have a good evening, and I'll speak to you again shortly. Bye-bye.